Well, today it's overcast, it's windy, and I'm going to start the first part of my solar panel recommendations. What I have found works and what I think is possibly the best way to go. Obviously, I'm going to be using mine for my pond and for my shed. Now, the first thing obviously is to find out where you're going to stick your panels. So, you need to go on to Google Maps, find where you live, and then right click on your address, and it'll come up with the numbers, latitude, longitude of where you live, and you need the first number, which could be anything like 20, 40, 50 or whatever it may be. And then you need to go onto a website which will tell you at what angle your solar panels are best to put. Now, I put mine on winter and summer. I put them on in between. My panels, it said, was 54, an angle of 54, but I put mine at 48, so I was between the summer and the winter, so I didn't have to touch them once they were put up. But if you can easily get to them and you can move them, you could easily put them on the summer and then automatically convert them to the winter and then back to the summer. But I thought that'd be too much trouble, really. So you've got the position to put the solar panels, and now you have the angle. The next thing is to position them for the best part of the day where you can get the sun. Now, the point here is not to set them on magnetic north, because that is not what you want. You want to set the panels on true north, which is slightly different. True north follows the sun from east to west and will give you the most energy out of your panels. Now, it's quite simple to do, really. I found it the easiest way. I tried with a compass and I found I'm no good with a compass, so I didn't get right. You've got the bird here behind me wanting some food. It knows when I come down to the pond I'm going to feed the fish, so it waits to be fed as well. As I was saying, I'm no good at compasses, but I found a simple solution. You get a stick, put the stick in the ground, or put the stick in front of where you can put the panels, and just take a sun reading of it at 10 a.m, noon and 2 p.m. and that'll give you the position at in the middle where to put your solar panels. Quite simple, that, which I wouldn't have thought of, but somebody told me that was ideal if I couldn't use a compass. Of course, you also have compasses on your mobile phone. Now, the one thing to remember is, if you put your mobile phone onto your solar panel, make sure it's not in the phone case, because some phone cases are magnetic and it will absolutely throw off the signal. The phone has to be put onto the solar panel as it is. Okay, then we come down to equipment. What do you need? Very little, really. You need your panels, and as I said, I'm doing a survey of 3 different types of panel, and I found the ones I think are the best. You need an MPPT. Again, I tried several to test them and I found the best. You then need batteries. Obviously, PO4 batteries are the ones you need. Minimum 2. I found a minimum 2. You're better with 3, but minimum 2. The next thing you need is some form of isolator for the solar panels. Basically a circuit breaker to turn off the panels so that you can work on them if you need to. Then you need decent cables. I found size 2 was the best for me, nice and thick. I think the 35mm thickness. I found they are the best. And then you need fuses. You need a fuse from the batteries to the inverter, which in my case was 250. And basically that's about it. So how much would it cost? Well, to do it cheaply, 2 panels, about £200. The MPPT, about £70. The isolator, about £15. Batteries are the most expensive. You are looking for good quality batteries, about £200 each. And then you need your inverter. The inverters are quite cheap depending on what model you go for. Some models are already grounded, so you don't need to do an earth ground bond because they've already got them inside. Others are floating, which means you should earth ground them and bond them. Now, the first review I'm going to do is on the solar panels, and that will be in my next video. After that, I will do a review of the MPPT, and I will be giving an MPPT away, so that's worth you watching. But you need to be subscribed to enter the giveaways I will be doing. After that, I will review the batteries, and after that I will review the inverter. Quite simple to do, really. It's mostly plug and play, so you don't have any problems. The first thing obviously you need to do is work out the amount of power you need for your pond or your shed or whatever you might be using. I am using about 500 watts on my pond, and then I have my garden lights, and then I have my security cameras all around the house and in the garden that all now run off the solar panels. So I'm saving quite a bit of electricity each day and saving money. The question is, how long would the solar panels and equipment take to pay off? Well, I've not worked that one out yet. As soon as I've got everything up and working the way I want it, then I'll have a good idea. But you can go cheap or you can go expensive, and I can't see any reason for going expensive when cheap works. So for now, throat's getting a bit sore here. For now, I will leave it there, and in a couple of days' time I will do the review on the solar panels, telling you which I think are the best to buy. And I was quite surprised when I tested the Eco-Worthy and the Renogy against the cheap make. Very surprised indeed. So catch you in the next one. Subscribe. See you then. Take care.